Would you take her to prom someday?
Hey, no, say it again, bro. You gotta say, man. I already DM'd her and asked her, and she said yes. All right, come on, man.
Alright, Village, so today I wasn't really going to make this video, but I feel like we do need to have a conversation today because there has been a lot of internet shenanigans, not only about Baby Gronk, but about a lot of other internet personalities.
Baby Gronk might be screwed. Baby Gronk's dad is only 5'8", meaning that Baby Gronk will only grow to be 5'6".
Not my alma mater on the screen. Oh, Lord. I even got UT gear on today. That's crazy.
The same height as his girlfriend, Livy Dunn. There have only been
Girlfriend? What? I need to know more because who is Baby Gronk?
Baby Gronk cheated on Livy Dunn. Baby Gronk, aka the new Riz King, is the #1 college football prospect in the country and was committed to LSU. But recently,
he was committed to LSU. Like, how old is this kid? She like 20, Baby Gronk is like 10. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, why is a 20-year-old woman hanging out with a 10-year-old kid? Like, that's sus in itself. The second thing I want to talk about is that this reminds me of the story about that guy that got committed to OSU and then basically didn't pan out, but he got committed when he was like 10. Let me look him up. 10. Yeah, Tate Martell, like, he committed to like the University of Washington when he was like 14, but decommitted soon after and chose OSU and ended up, flopping. But yeah, this is a story that reminds me of this because, like, this kid, if he really got committed to LSU this early, then y'all not learned y'all lesson from this. Like, y'all overhyping kids when they're playing like pee-wee football when they're like, this guy said 10. And it just worries me because you not only just embarrass the kid if he doesn't pan out, but also too, if he flops, you basically wasted his childhood. Because the thing with football, a lot of these kids train up as young as 5 to be football beasts and to even get committed in their senior year. For a kid to get committed in his I'm trying to remember, second, third grade, I think, just get committed that young. Literally, like, you eat up a bunch of this kid's time in childhood.
He's been seen on recruiting visits all across the nation. He's even met with Nick Saban and Deion Sanders. Livy is not happy.
And, like, literally, like, you got Livy over here, flexing with the kid and literally just, trying to get clout off of him. That's, like, predatory in itself. Like, I'm not just gonna be honest with you. I know it's probably fun in games, but that's still a little bit, like, predatory in itself.
What I thought was going to be a kid-friendly collab turned into something disturbing. So after countless DMs and during my NFL stadium tour, I was at the Cowboys stadium, so I agreed to collab with Baby Gronk.
Like, you got a literal child just here, doing this interview and stuff, and like, where are the parents? Like, what are the parents doing?
Suggested I interview his son. And no, this wasn't an Aiden Diggs interview, where the kid has a voice.
You know about my uncle, he's really good.
I love Aiden.
He's famous.
Baby Gronk.
Nah, Aiden's different because it's just one of those things, like, this is like a natural born kid. Like, he's just around and, like, enjoying the moment with his dad. Like, that's different than, like, propping your son up and trying to monetize off of him.
Baby Gronk was told every second what to say by his dad. So did his dad force him to say this too?
What are you gonna do, to stay sharp and keep your skills up if you're actually not gonna go through with middle school and high school?
I'm gonna get body massages by baddies.
And this is where it gets disturbing. So I was throwing the football to Baby Gronk when his dad told me to take off my jacket and said stuff like, it'll get more views, and telling his son how good I looked and that he should get closer. And I was disturbed.
Wait, what?
I was with a 10-year-old. I have nephews older than him. This kid, a child, hasn't even hit puberty. Yet his dad is sexualizing females in front of him. For views. And as time passed, I saw other things on his feed that his dad runs, referencing this star as his mother.
What? I know this kid ain't posting up with his with the top, man. I ain't gonna say nothing about that, but it's sus all around.
Which is clearly not true and, again, disturbing. And listen, I'm not a parent and I don't like to judge others' parenting, but in this case, I'm gonna do better. Big Baby Gronk.
You can't be having your kid around sexualizing women like that, and this is why we have a problem, which I'm gonna get into in the next section of this video. Yeah, this definitely is ran by a parent. Yeah, this is sus. Like, you got him posted up at Kentucky at Purdue, Louisville, Memphis, Vanderbilt, like literally exposing him to like the world when he can't even conceptualize what an NIL contract is. Like literally, like camp visits, like you having him look like a whole senior out here trying to get committed in the next year. Like, yeah, this is sus all around. He's definitely grooming his kid. Like, you got this kid posted up to IG baddies right here, literally.
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
I'm doing collab with baddies, IG models.
Okay.
In the street, no less.
Yeah. I do not miss.
For some clout, like that, like this is like textbook grooming. Like, let's just be honest with you. Not on the part of the women. I feel like they just clout chasing. Like, let me just get that straight. Like, I don't think this is like really just their fault or like they take the most of the blame of it. And we always talk about grooming, like, you know, when you talk about strangers, you know, grooming little kids, you know, teachers grooming little kids, you know, one connection I'll make about this is this whole LGBT or the anti-LGBTQIA plus movement in schools, because they're afraid that, you know, kids are gonna get groomed into like, you know, talking about sexuality. They're gonna be groomed in being gay or lesbian or bisexual or like do stuff against their wills. When we have literal parents that literally doing this stuff to their kids, and I'm not talking about grooming in just like the triple X type of sense, but we're talking about grooming kids into doing stuff against their wills. Like, this kid is literally not smiling in this picture. This kid literally lifting weights. He's 10 years old. He should be playing video games. He should be playing Zelda right now. Like, this kid is literally doing all this stuff for fame, clout, and all, like, posted up with money and stuff like that too. Shirtless. I can't speak today. Nobody really saw this as a problem, like, whenever this started. Like, this is a huge red flag right here. Like, this dude isn't even smiling or really just, you know, interacting with Lacey. Like, this dude looks terrified and he does not want to be here. He should be in, well, this is Christmas time. He's out of school. But, like, most of the time, like, this kid is in camp. This kid is, like, doing all this extracurricular stuff. And another quick thing I want to bring up before going to the next topic. We always talk about adverse childhood outcomes in public health or, like, behavioral health or social health in general. Basically, average childhood outcomes could be like average childhood experiences that shapes, you know, individuals or kids when they get into adulthood. In a sense, average childhood outcomes are the reason that kids end up picking the wrong choices in life because of the things that shaped them as a child. They kind of traumatize them. And I get this kid is making money. I get this father is trying to set this kid up for, like, I don't know what his intentions are, because I feel like he's trying to cloud chase off of him. But at the end of the day, this kid is not enjoying this. Like, this kid is literally pushing weights and stuff when he needs to be literally like just being a kid. And I'm not going to say this kid is going to be the next, you know, mass unaliver or is going to be a criminal or something. But I can guarantee you this kid is not going to love football in the next like 5 years. When he actually has to put in the work, he might get exposed or two. And in fact, he might not even make it big and go to the league. Like, this is one of the things, you know, this should be a cautionary tale to all you parents. Like, if you post your child on social media, make sure you're doing it for like genuine reasons. Really don't do that at all, because kids don't need to be on their social media. But this is a conversation that just not extends to influencers, but this also extends to just family vloggers and, you know, family channels. Like, I did a video about that a few months ago, which I implore y'all to go watch. But literally, one of the biggest things I say is that, you know, you're basically stripping your kids, you know, private childhood memories from them and making them viral for the whole world to see. And they're going to grow up and resent you for that eventually. All right, the next sensation that really popped off this week is this Home Depot girl. I literally just found out about her, you know, like Baby Gronk yesterday. So I'm not really hipped on what's happening.
All right, so while we're here, we might as well talk about...
All right, so woman is receiving praise from most men on social media for working at Home Depot. I know Shawty a good woman. She could have made an OnlyFans, but she got a real job, and it's, oh Lord, this whole OnlyFans debate. What is Shaq doing? Don't let them people bother you. Thank you, Shaq. Don't read the comment stuff like that will drive you crazy. Have a good day. Tell your boyfriends I said hello. I don't know. Shaq need to get back in the gym. The Lakers need him right now.
Yo, I thought women were supposed to support women, bro. So this Home Depot worker is facing backlash on Twitter from adult film stars because she is getting noticed. Basically, this woman posted this outfit and it went viral. Everybody's stating that they love a woman that works, that doesn't, you know, do things online. That led to her facing backlash from women on social media stating that her working at Home Depot is not a flex and that it's not really all that attractive. They don't understand the hype.
So basically, this is the original photo about her posting about herself. When was this? It was like a week ago, yeah. Breaking news: woman gets a real job. She won't be working there much longer. Not Jenny on the blog. I'm pretty sure. She wants me so bad. She won't have a job there at the rate the internet is going. It's sad. Yep, it definitely is sad. Yes, how about that and not busting wide open on Twitter hoping for OnlyFans signups? Like, there was a story where I got this, women were also going crazy too with the comments about, her talking down about OnlyFans and, saying that, she was a child of faith, which the original tweet, whenever I originally saw it, she was saying I don't have anything against OnlyFans models. It's just me personally. I don't that goes against my own morals. And I was I don't want to do that for a living. I want to make an honest living, which honestly is perfectly fine because for me, I don't have a problem with OnlyFans. I think the way that OnlyFans has allowed women to monetize their own body, because when you talk about triple X work, I'm just going to use that because I'm not trying to get demonetized. But when you talk about triple X work, it's always exploitative of the women in it. They always get the bad end of everything, and basically, no matter how much money they're making, they at some point get taken advantage by men. And a lot of people are just saying oh, women just need to stop doing that, get the real jobs, all this stuff. Triple X work is not what you see on the hub or what you see on, these other sites. Triple X work encompasses a whole bunch of other things, and most women who do it are oftentimes exploited, or I wouldn't say most women, I would say a lot of women are. And at the end of the day, while you got a lot of women who try to glamorize it, who try to say oh, I'm getting a Porsche, or I'm getting a Ferrari, all that, it's most of the time women aren't glamorizing it, and a lot of women are making millions and millions of dollars off of that stuff. Now when you talk about OF girls, that's different because I feel a lot more women on that site do try to glamorize it and just say oh, I'm making bank off this, I'm doing this and that and third, when on average the everyday OF model is making I think it was $200 a month whenever I first looked at it or someone reported it, which is not enough money to even cover rent, which I don't think is really worth it to put your stuff out on the internet, because the internet is forever, believe it or not. But at least OF gives women the ability to not be exploited by all these companies and really not receiving their fair share of the cut, and be able to really take home a lot of their money that they make off of their body. And at the end of the day, when people talk about OF being a good model, we're not trying to groom little girls into saying oh, you should be an OF model. But at the end of the day, if you are going to do it, we need to give women the tools, at least not get exploited, get taken advantage of off of that, especially when you talk about people who are still being groomed in that type of industry. Now going back to her, basically she wasn't really talking down on the industry. She was basically saying that's just not for me, and both men and women have gone on the Twitter to really have this whole discord about it. Basically, men getting on Twitter saying oh, I'm proud of her. She's not, following for all these modern women standards, and she's actually have boundaries for herself, when in actuality, the reason why OnlyFans and really triple X work is here to begin with is because men don't know how to keep it, PG, if I'm, what I mean. But basically, women are also getting on Twitter and just saying oh, you're talking down on OnlyFans models. Oh, you're talking down on me. You think you're too good. You're working the 9 to 5. You work doing this, that, and third, and you barely making money. While I'm making a bag and all this stuff. What? Yeah. Women are also going online and doing that, which is disgusting in itself, because she, for one, like I said, she wasn't talking down on OnlyFans models. Two, most people love a 9 to 5 job. The worst thing that hustle culture ever did to 9 to 5 folk, it made it acceptable for people, CEOs and all that, to really brainwash y'all into thinking that that's the way to live, that's the way you need to be, while most people are just satisfied with getting a 9 to 5 job, albeit they need to get better pay because they put in a lot more work to get a lot of people money at the top. They need to get better pay and better benefits. But most people are very much happy with that structure because it provides some type of structure. And, with being an entrepreneur, with being an OF model, I presume as well, you have to build your own branding. You got to do your own marketing. You got to do this, that, and third, just as you're a regular content creator on YouTube. For example, for me, most of the stuff I do is oftentimes outside of my 9 to 5 job. The most of the film and most of the scripting is after I'm, done clocking out, Like, I do that in between dinner. I don't even play video games most night out of the week because I'm oftentimes scripting and doing videos. Like, being your own boss is something that you shouldn't be glamorizing. And like, I'm not going to talk down on OnlyFans models, you know, because at the end of the day, you do your type of work. I personally don't want my wife or my children to be involved with that work because we got too many creeps out here. As you can see, they've leaked their job location. We got too many creeps out here lusting after women to the point where it's just like, it's not even safe for them to be able to, you know, express themselves. And this whole situation, this whole discourse is really disgusting to me because this all started with her posting a picture at her work because she was feeling herself. And now men have, you know, the audacity to like really applaud her for like, you know, being like a conservative, being a, you know, covered up woman, but still being pretty, as well as women who are trying to like get the affection of men just to get profit off them are literally commenting on her and just saying like, you know, they're taking advantage of you, sis. You need to do this, you need to do that. You know, you're talking down on all of us, but yet, you know, you're the one, you know, poor, this, that, and third, all this stuff. Like, it just really disgusts me that people will have the time out of their day to really do this to this woman, and now she's losing her livelihood basically because of it. Like, and I know this rant went into like many different directions, but all I'm trying to say is that we need to stop sexualizing people who don't want to be sexualized. If you want to sexualize yourself, that's fine. Do whatever you want to do. Men, stop being, you know, thirsty on timeline. Just mind your own business and do whatever you need to do, and really just mind your own business at the end of the day, because there's no reason why this woman had to like really just move out her place because, you know, y'all couldn't just, you know, keep it to yourselves.